Yeah. Yep, Noble. But this is gonna be fun. I'm gonna give a little two highlights real fast. I'm gonna talk about. I'm gonna break a little preference down, and then I'm gonna break something else down.
Okay. Are you going on your YouTube?
Yeah, I'm on my personal YouTube. You can go on the temple page if you want to. Hey, this is just a quick teaching. You can do whatever you want. You can do whatever you want to do.
Okay.
I'm on my personal YouTube. The topic, and I got a good topic. You could just say the Balfour Declaration. It'd be a
You
nice
hear
little,
that?
huh?
You hear the lawn tools in the backyard?
Uh-uh.
Okay. I may be able to do it then. Hold on real
Yep.
quick. Okay.
It'd be a good.
What's the name of this?
The you can say the Balfour Declaration.
Balfour.
Balfour Declaration. And then you can put in parentheses. No, that's fine. No, you ain't even got to type that. Just say, history, history lesson / more science lesson. You feel me? Because I'm gonna talk about two things. Yeah, I'm gonna talk about two things for historical and educational purposes only. Yep. You're gonna have a good workout. I know we are today. Got 30 minutes. This gonna be dope.
She let me know when you're ready for the countdown.
All right, 1 second over.
I will start it now.
Yeah, we good.
Five, four, three.
Peace. Hope everybody doing all right today. Just jumped on here, man, and I wanted to share some history. I like to share a lot of history with brothers and sisters, for we can be, how can I say, understanding what's going on with history and not get caught up in dogmatic perspectives. And yes, we're supposed to understand the past. And the past shape our future by understanding what's going on. Not to use this like why and this, but to understand how to navigate on this earth plane. Because any place I want to be is here in America. A lot of brothers get so caught up with this Moorish American stuff. And I say, That's great. But what about an Ethiopian American? What about a Bosnian American? What about all those people that understand who they are? Understand this. It's a lot of us. It's a lot of science, and we don't want to put our wisdom in a box to show how ignorant we are. So I'm going to talk about two things. I'm going to talk about a little history about how certain people had got fake citizenships and why being an American is so valid. And then I'm going to show another topic, I can say another main topic on why we shouldn't argue about who's this and who's that. When people be saying Noble Drew Ali is the only one. And I say Noble Drew Ali is not the only one of nothing. He's not old enough to be the only one. Give homage to men that gave inspiration and inspired you. You don't think those great men were inspired by others? You don't think Carter G. Woodson? You don't think Sheikh Anta Diop? You don't think Ivan Van Sertima? You don't think the Black Hitler of Harlem? You don't think Francis Cruyff Wilson? You don't think Amos Wilson was inspired by others? You don't think Kobe Bryant, Michael Jordan, Kareem Abdul-Jabbar? You don't think those brothers was inspired by other good men and women that were experts in their skills? Huh, Lamarck? We should know better than that. So, let's deal with a little bit of history when I talk about the Balfour Declaration. See, the Balfour Declaration, a lot of things in history, we just want to illuminate and then be clear on things, understand how to navigate and understand why being an American and understand what type of American you are is very, very important. Because being a Negro, black, and colored, you have no rights for no citizen had to oblige by. A lot of us talk about the Dred Scott case, but we don't talk about the Spencer and Dungy case, when Abraham Lincoln defended the Moore in court. We don't talk about the Wilmington white man's constitution. Research all these historical things. The Balfour Declaration was a public statement issued by the British government in 1917 during the First World War, announcing its support for the establishment of a national home for the Jewish people in Palestine. Huh? Now watch this. Now, when I tell people, I don't care what nobody be saying, let's deal with history, and you check the people that was there, and you check the presidents, and we gonna quote, let me paint this picture for you. The Balfour Declaration was a public statement issued by the British government in 1917 during the First World War, announcing its support for the establishment of a national home for the Jewish people in Palestine. Then an Ottoman region with a small minority Jewish population. So you got to understand, when I started getting encyclopedias, when they started playing a word game and they started saying with Hebrew and Jew, when I be specific, because I deal with education, I don't deal with feelings. Then you start understand what's going on. Just like I show you in Thomas Jefferson's Quran, when they call you a pirate, a Corsica. All those different things, you not knowing, and you don't understand that song they sing. What they sing in military ISIS? From the halls of to the shores of Tripoli. It's talking about they defeated the Moors. And then they say with a small minority Jewish population. The declaration was contained in a letter dated the 2nd of November, 1917 from the United Kingdom's Foreign Secretary Arthur Balfour to Lord Rothschild, a leader of the British Jewish community. So are we talking about Zionists? Yes. No disrespect. I just deal with history. Let you deal with it. For transmission to the Zionist Federation of Great Britain and Ireland. The text of the declaration was published in the press on November 9th, 1917. And you got these brothers talking about nationalities order today like we ain't a plethora of people. What are you talking about nationality order today? You forgetting all the people that was Moors before you, before our prophet? It was people way before our prophet Noble Drew Ali. And we're going to break that down in my next topic of this teaching. So when I deal with history, when I do this for a lot of my college students, I just broke down the Balfour Declaration and what that consisted of. They wanted to make a home for these colonized, these Jews that really ain't Jews. And where? In Palestine. And right on Al Jazeera, they showed the video where they got fake citizenships. This is not, when I said I don't make this stuff up. So if they got fake citizenship to be here, why some goofy Negroes that call themselves some goofy Moors, sovereign citizen, talk about they ain't American citizen, they some foreign national, and people got fake citizenships, and you're not historical. Origins and evolution of the Palestine problem, 1917 and 1947. When I talk about history, read the 13th tribe, and then people be trying to diss what's in there. You can't diss from your own people. And then when I read the International Jew by Henry Ford, read those books, and that's just a start. When I talk about the Igbo and the Igbo, who is the real Jew, genetically, historically? The question of Palestine was brought before the United Nations shortly after the end of the Second World War. The origin of Palestine problem as an international issue, however, lie in events occurring towards the end of the First World War. These events led to a League of Nations decision to place Palestine under the administration of Great Britain as the mandatory power under the mandates system adopted by the League. In principle, the mandate was meant to be in the nature of a transitory phase until Palestine attained the status of a full independent nation. Excuse me, that fan getting on my nerves. There we go. Of a full independent nation. A status provisionally recognized in the League's covenant. But in fact, the mandate's historically evolution did not result in the emergence of Palestine as an independent nation. So when I'm reading this, and when I show people, once I find that old lecture that I did when I was at GCU doing my oral dissertation, I pulled this up on Al Jarreez. It showed it how a lot of those European Jews that came from nowhere, how they got fake citizenships to be Palestine citizens, to whitewash it and overthrow the Ottoman Empire. Then they play a word game, and then they say the Jews. Well, you know, the Jews ruled Spain and all that for certain years. What Jews? They play a word game. I'm coming from scholarship. We can deal with this. When I show you, research what the Balfour Declaration is. When Hitler was speaking in German, he was calling certain individuals Balfours. I mean, I'll show you. We talk about Zionists. Somebody said something?
Islam.
You can't be mad at me at history. I can show you all the encyclopedias. I can get the Jewish encyclopedia and everything, and they'll show you exactly what I'm saying. I can show you what, and when they say, oh, that's anti-Semitic, I can show you who made that up. I can show you where all that came made from data and everything, the conferences and everything. I did this in academia. That's why when a person want to come and talk that this anti-Semitic, man, shut up. You anti-Semitic when you're talking to me, because I'm a Jew too. Now, and I ain't no black Jew. Now. So, if you call me a Negro, black, and color, African American, that's anti-Semitic. How about that? I'm telling you, and this is real talk, and they'll assume special significance because almost 5 years before receiving the mandate from the League of Nations, the British government had given commitments to the Zionist organization regarding the establishment of a Jewish national home in Palestine. And all of those colonized and all those people that were kicked out of the places, they got fake citizenships as Palestine citizens due to history, and then put it up on Al Jarreez historically. And then they be crying and doing all that. I said, man, I get all the tears. I get all that. But let's be real. You don't want to deal with the real. Just like when a lot of people be holding up, what was that president in Africa when everybody was talking about how he was good for everybody. How the U.S. wouldn't, and the government wouldn't kill.
Nelson Mandela?
No, the other one. The Arab dude, and they went there and they said he did good for the Africans. And he was going to change the money standard. What was his name? Gaddafi?
Gaddafi?
Okay. That's the one that had all the women military? Okay, well, if I'm not mistaken, see, a lot of people just be saying how these people did great things because they be caught up in hip-hop and rappers saying things and wearing T-shirts. But y'all ain't looking at the big picture, because when you look at, when I tell you Bertrand Thomas who the Arab is, when I show y'all Vladimir Dale's dictionary of who the real Arab is, not the ARAP, you will start seeing what I'm telling y'all. You will start understanding what I'm saying. When we talk about the color, when we talk about the color thing, it was a different. Arab what? What you mean Arab? What you mean? What you mean with that? The historical connection, the Zionists have pressed a claim on historical connection. Since their ancestors lived in Palestine too, this is what they say. But it's a word trick because the second president of Egypt told you the reason why Israel is cursed is because God's people left black and came back white. So what are we talking about? What are we talking about? I want us to look at history with a clear view, and who the Zionists say get their dictionaries and see who they call themselves, and see if I'm saying it's coming from some biased perspective. I'm coming from education. All this stuff is in the libraries. I ain't even touched the real surface. I'm just still in elementary wisdom. I ain't even got in a Hitler book. Hitler wrote a book that's in the Time magazine that probably cost stacks now. I bought all of them. And now they're probably like 5, 6, 7, 8,000 on there. And he's speaking in German, in Sprechen die Deutsch. He's speaking in German. And then I say, do you know what this is saying? Do you know what this is all about? And I ain't saying nothing didn't happen, but I'm telling you, just like I tell people, get the book, The One World Tartarians, and then research that, and then let's have a real question. When people don't know history, I show you all books that's written by people and show you how misnomer Chinese and misnomer African Americans was a Hitler regime, point blank. Yeah, I don't care what nobody say. I ain't on nobody's side. But when you talk about stuff you don't have no idea on, I'll blow your mind because you have no idea on what's really going on. After a quarter of a century of a mandate, Great Britain submitted what had become the Palestine problem. The Palestine problem. So what did Henry Ford book say? The international Jew, right? The Jewish one, right? He said that was their problem. Yeah. Researching what I'm telling you, research the 13th tribe by Harold Colander. Then I ain't even jumped. Then I started showing you who came up with that anti-Semitic stuff. I started showing you in the Jewish encyclopedias what they say. I get in the regular encyclopedias to show you how linguistics play the word game with Hebrew and Jew. And then I show you from peer-reviewed scholarship, who the real Jew and Igbo is. From genetics, from scholarship, not playing no game or what nobody want to do. We're not doing that. And you're going to let somebody try to say we only one class of people, you all over. You go to do a continent of Africa and you deal with the Bantu, you deal with the Zulu. You deal with the Aruba. You deal with the Orisha. You deal with the Abyssinian or the Ethiopian. What are you talking about? We blind. You deal with the Jewish culture. You deal with the chosen ones. What are we talking about? That's why I be laughing at brothers. Like what are we? Oh, so these brothers ain't Moors? Yes, they are. I show you they had, like we be tripping. I show you what the brothers wore in the turban, the spiritual workers that represent the magical East. Man, brothers don't go to no Moorish Science Temple. Your grandma ain't grew up in a Moorish Science Temple unless she was in that era. Most of our family and members is Christians. They be out here playing. Yeah. They be out here playing a game. And I'll be like, stop playing and just accept the wisdom and accept your makeup and accept learning and accept growing. But don't be out here playing a game like you grew up in the Moor, like you got pictures when you was a kid in the Moorish Science Temple. You don't got no pictures of you and your mom and your dad in no Moorish Science Temple. You don't got no pictures of you and your mom and no dad in no Islamic temple as well. You don't have no pictures of you and your mama probably doing nothing together as a family. Let alone talk about what it is and about organization. You see? And after the investigation, various alternatives, the United Nations proposed the partitioning of Palestine into the independent states. One Palestine Arab, which we know, no disrespect, because I can get all the European writers. Get a book called The Arab by Bertrand Thomas. Get Vladimir's dictionary of what the ARAP is. You don't have to listen to me. You don't have to listen to me, and then I can get all other writers by. Sorry, I told you who the Hebrew or the Israelite is, all the same family. Then I can get another book about the Negro Negro question, and show you how Israel had two Hebrew, and Egypt had two Hebrew pharaohs, Sabato and Sebekos. Only thing was different was the garment material. I mean, we right by each other. We knew language. How do you think we dealt with each other and bargained and sold things? Like, we be getting this stuff twisted and let people treat us like we Crips and Bloods and Paru. This ain't no street stuff. Yeah, the 6-point star. Yeah, the 5-point star. Yeah, all that belongs to us. But this ain't no Crips. This divine wisdom. This 99 degrees. After a quarter of a century, they talk about Great Britain submitted what had become the Palestine problem to the United Nations on the ground that the mandatory power was forced to concluding obligations that had proved inconcilable, meaning they was forced to do that. And then when you see the Ottoman Empire, when you see it, that's when the military, from the halls of to the shores to Tripoli. I'll show you in Thomas Jefferson Quran, the blue Quran, what I got. They couldn't burn everything up in Alexandria. They can't burn it up. This is what I'm talking about. This is what I'll be talking about, how I talk about in masonry, the sons do the bidding of the mothers. This is what I'll be telling y'all. It's there in history. I'll paint the picture clear. Can't nobody say nothing. Nothing. After investigating various alternatives, the United Nations proposed a partitioning of Palestine into 2 independent states, one Palestinian Arab and the other Jewish, with Jerusalem internationalized. The partition plan did not bring peace to Palestine, and the prevailing violence spread into a Middle East war halt by the United Nations action. Why you think all those pale-faced Arabs, no disrespect, own so much? You think they're so wealthy? Then they took over a certain area. The sons do the business of the mother. I'm telling you, they ain't got nothing. The continent there, they ain't nothing. They own all this oil. What made them own every goddamn thing? They family don't come from nothing. They come from killing in blood and overthrowing. One of the 2 states envisioned, or how can I say, that was brought out of this in this era. It proclaimed its independence as Israel. When I show y'all how it's gonna claim its independence as Israel, and I show y'all in this before Israel was creating the state, y'all got the book. You see the American flag and the so-called Israel flag, the 6-point star, right in the back with these brothers in Harlem in the 1920s. Man, they better stop playing with the so-called 6-point star, with all the Arabic and the Jewish writing, Rabbi Mordecai Herman and the Moorish Zionist Temple. Yeah, the Moorish Zionist Temple. I told y'all, no disrespect, the European, the Albion, the Trailer-dyke, whatever you want to call it. They want to call you Negro, Black, and Colored, African American. I'm going to say exactly how the hell it is. They call you that, well, the European, the Trailer-dyke, the Albion, whatever you want to call it. I told you, they take everything good and make it for bad, just like Hitler. You think that sign and symbol is a swastika. It ain't no damn swastika. That ain't no swastika. You think these people is brilliant? They went and saw something and took these signs and symbols and twisted your brain. That's just 360 degrees as well. 90, 90, 90, 90, 360, just like the circle and the square. These people ain't that brilliant. Rabbi Mordecai Herman at the Moorish Zionist Temple of the Moorish Jews in 1920s. In 1920s, before Israel, whatever we want to call it, was created a state. Photographed by James Van Deer, Don Musadin. 1920. So we don't want to hear all that. I ain't gonna sit here and listen to people try to put you in the box and say, oh, you a Moorish man. Yeah, we know all that. Ugly. Now what? We ain't dissing nobody heritage. It's one nationality, many cultures. You dissing culture. So you dissing your brother. So you gonna diss a Twahedo. You gonna diss all my Twahedo brothers and all my Abyssinia brothers and all my Ethiopian brothers. You're going to diss all the Moridine and Sheikh Bamboo Falls. You're going to diss all them brothers. You're going to diss these babies that have a clear understanding. Man, no, we not. But you so caught up in the wrong thing. We're not going to do that. We're not going to do that. Not today, not never. Not never. In the course of the search, a large majority of states members of the United Nations have recognized that the Palestine issue continues to lie as the heart of the Middle East problem, the most serious threat to peace, which the United Nations must contend. So they create the problem. I told y'all, Henry Ford told y'all, recognition is spreading in the world opinion that the Palestine people must be assured and inherit inalienable rights. But who is the Palestine people? The people that moved there? Because no matter where you come from, you a guest. You're not a native. See, we can get too technical with this. I'm telling you, it's bigger than what they put in front of your face, and they get mad. Well, we ain't gonna get mad if they gonna say you a Negro, Black, and Colored. Let's use their language. Trelodite, what, Albion? What, we ain't gonna use the proper language? We must. We ain't gonna say what they say on Algeries, what it is. So you telling me I'm making this up, saying that the Palestine became fake, I mean that the Jews that ain't have no home became fake citizens of Palestine, and all of them, all those thousands and thousands of people got fake citizenships as Palestine people. This is history. And you telling me nationality don't mean nothing? You gonna let somebody call you a Negro, black, or color? No. The disintegration of the Ottoman Empire by the turn of the century, the Eastern question was a predominant concern of European diplomacy. European colonizers, they wanted to come over and take over. Just like I told y'all, Patrice Lumumba. Look at all those people, those Belgian presidents. They assassinated him, and he had his own people turned. This is facts. And then they talk about it and laugh about it. These is facts. They maneuvered to establish control over spheres of influence over territories of the declining Ottoman Empire. The dynamics of the Eastern question thus lay in Europe, and the issue finally was resolved by the defeat of Turkey. I'm telling you, when I show you all the history of who the Turks and the Moors is, the Turks, the Turkeys, Moors, they telling y'all they defeated the Turks. And they just rename shit. And they put themselves as the abdomen. Me and Isis was watching, these food shows. I'll be watching these travelers. And when I talk about Europeans, always name themselves after people they killed, like Afrikaners. And then the Europeans, they was in I forget what area they was at. They was in South goddamn Africa. Excuse my candor, because South Africa is full with Europeans. No disrespect. And the European was like, yeah, we're the Afrikaners. The Afrikaners of South Africa. They telling on themselves. And he ain't want to say too much, but I bet you if I was there, I'd be like, why do y'all call yourself the Afrikaners in South Africa? He'll have to tell. Oh yeah, our family is centuries old Afrikaners. By defeating who? But tell the truth. And they have to tell. I'll be telling y'all, listen, this is history. The European ain't calling themselves Afrikaners because they so good they did something down their name. They call themselves because they defeated the African general. Just like his brother did when he defeated the Italians. See, we be talking about all type of stuff, Hitler and all that. Man, Mussolini killed a gang of people. Hell, Churchill killed a whole bunch of natives by diverting the food. What are we talking about? What are we talking about? It's too much history. We got to tell our own story. In 1916, negotiations between Britain, France, and Russia, later also including Italy, led to the secret Sykes-Picot Agreement on the allocation of the Ottoman Arab territories. So what? To go kill him. Just like I showed y'all that plan to assassinate Patrice Lumumba. I put that in y'all email. I sent that from the government. I sent y'all this shit. Man, I got degrees in this shit. I sent y'all the whole government file of the goddamn plans to assassinate Patrice Lumumba from the goddamn government, didn't I? Showed it, how they just plan on assassinate him. Then I showed y'all the film. It's all in there. It's the whole government, how it said the plan how to assassinate Patrice Lumumba and the other guy I'm telling y'all about. It's right on there. It's right on there. So when people be like, well, what are you talking about? Boy, please. We be all want to support these people with these rappers like, oh, see, he died for the people. Okay, well, don't you know when those people, when we talked about all that poor black stuff and he was going to make the money gold and all this. Okay, well, don't you know a lot of the people in his army, he used the poor goddamn Africans in them goddamn communities at the fucking foot soldiers and promised all them families when the war was over, they're going to be free and get this. Ain't shit happen. So when people be talking that stuff, they don't know. They don't be going to these villages. This is that hip hop TV shit. Excuse my candor. Oh, this person's so good. Okay, so this all about this type of color. I don't care. You go all continents of ever. Arab. Your skin like this means nothing. And they use you as the front line to defeat everybody and use them for killers. And after all the war over, you go right back to your neighborhood of poverty where ain't no running water or nothing. They use you as crash dummies. And I can pull up all documents of the native people talking about it. They use their kids and shit. What up, though? And European power they did this stuff. They sought to, what's up, Cool Modi? What up? The European powers sought to establish spheres of influence. They recognized the sovereignty would rest with the rulers and people of the Arab territories, and the Sky-Picot agreements specified recognition of an independent Arab state or confederate of Arab states. This reflected the recognition of regional reality, since the force of emergent Arab nationalism constituted a major challenge to the supranational Ottoman Empire. The Arab nationalism saw manifestation in the form of sovereign, independent national states on the European model. Great Britain aims in the war linked with these Arab national aspirations and led to assurances of sovereign independence for the Arab people after the defeat of the Axis powers. I got all his books, the Axis, you the Axis. It's a whitewash. It's a replacement. I hope we seeing this. The Anglo-Arab, understanding on Arab independence. The Anglo-Arab, just like the Anglo-Saxon. These assurances appear in correspondence during 1915 and 16 between Sir Henry McMahon, British High Consumer in Egypt, and Sharif Hussain, Emir of Mecca, who led the special status of the keeper of Islam's most holy cities. So when people be talking about this pale-faced Islam and all this, dude, they don't care about your black skin. No disrespect, he was always the scum. I can show you right why you think you can go in the continent of Africa and a pale-faced Arab is enslaved. They going in the continent of Africa and enslaving in you. I open the book of Omar. I open the Bukhari Hadith and show you what's in there. They don't care about your black skin. You a slave. Period. And I ain't rocking like that. This ain't no slave stuff here. None of that, baby. In course of the protracted correspondence, the Sharif unequivocally demanded independence of the Arab countries, specifically in detail the boundaries of the territories in question, which clearly include Palestine. McMahon confirmed that the Great Britain is prepared to recognize and support the independence of the Arabs. The Arabs, the pale-faced Arabs. Get Bertrand Thomas the Arab. Research the second president of Egypt, Nasser, and when he said the reason why Israel is cursed is because God people left black and came back white. Research how the Europeans became Palestine citizens by overtaking the Ottoman Empire, and how claiming fake citizenship and claiming that they some Palestinians. That's history. I don't care how nobody feel. So, I'm going to close with this one too, as I close. We got to stop letting these TikTok Negroes just be on the internet, just spilling up at the mouth, saying Noble Drew Ali was the first to do this. Noble Drew Ali established the Moorish Science Temple of America. Start looking at dates and start being a student. Noble Drew Ali ain't the first of nothing. He was inspired by other men. Research Deuce Muhammad Ali, the Moorish Muslim, but they say the black Muslim editor whose paper covered the world. And then look at when Deuce Muhammad was born. Look when Noble Drew Ali was born. And then start seeing, was Marcus Garvey inspired by Deuce Muhammad? Start doing some research and see what I'm saying when people just want to do TikTok videos to get you act like some cronies and say, man, it's time for a brotherhood. In pre-First World War London, an Egyptian-born journalist and writer founded a paper to report international struggles against colonism and racism. Yassim Afur discusses the impact of Deuce Muhammad Ali, founder of the African Times and Orient Review. Now, when you research this mighty man with the fez on, I got pictures. Research when this man was born. Research the time periods. And then start asking some questions. Deuce Muhammad Ali was a man whose lifespan careers, as well as continents, an actor, publisher, editor, journalist. He traveled across the world, lectured in the United States, and worked as Marcus Garvey I before ending his days in Nigeria, where he is considered to be central figure in the growth of a national Nigerian consciousness and the student movement. But Ali is also part of the British Black Muslim heritage. He studied in London, was a prominent figure in British-based Muslim circles, and perhaps most importantly, between 1912 and 1920, he published and edited his international paper, the African Times and Orient Review, from 138 Fleet Street. Just like when I talk about Angelo Solomon. Who was Angelo Solomon? The first Moorish Mason. Mozart friend, the first Moorish Mason. Research this stuff. We're not dealing with no dumb, goofy brothers. born in Alexandria in 1866. Born in Alexandria in 1866. Then see when Prophet was born, and then see who first, and then look up Deuce Muhammad with his fez on and everything, and then say something, and then tell these people to go have a seat. Please. Born in Alexandria in 1866 to an Egyptian father and Sudanese mother, Ali was sent to the UK for education at the age of 9. After losing most of his family in 1881, National Revolution, he returned to Egypt, to Britain. Now remember, from Egypt to Britain. Now keep Egypt in your head when I start talking about the next person. When you be like, they knew each other. Yep, they the ones came to New York and told the Europeans to sit on their damn hands. No disrespect. No disrespect. The National Revolution, he returned from Egypt to Britain and became an actor and producer. Just like when people be talking about, what's the dude name that's locked up right now? The Nuwabian. What was his name? Dr. York. Man, he was a singer. He was a singer. Everybody about said, put Dr. up. He brought a whole bunch of albums. Just like Farrakhan played a goddamn violin. And became an actor and producer. Although as a black actor, his career was obstructed by racial prejudice. He traveled across the country and to the United States, and is thought to possibly be the first African to play Othello. His ambition, however, were not limited to acting. Ali could, in fact, be described as an entrepreneur, as he turned his hand to various trades and careers and seemed to always have multiple projects on the go. During his London years, his achievements included acting as the vice president of the London-based Central Islamic Society. At the London-based Central Islamic Society, setting up a fund for the widows and orphans, when I talk about the widows' mite, of Indian Muslim soldiers, and founded the Anglo-Ottoman Society. So when you start seeing this, and I just showed you something else, when I said the Anglo-Ottoman Society, I hope y'all seeing what I'm doing. Prophets and angels are prophets and angels. Just like when I talk about Lavelle Goodard and Lavelle Goodard, I'm going to tell y'all, I'm going to start showing y'all, you got to start connecting this. Me and Lamarck were just having a long conversation. All this stuff that I talk about, my upbringing with the brain. Remember when I showed y'all the document? And who was Lavelle Goodard giving praise to? The what? The who, y'all? Come on. Somebody say it. If you don't, talk to me. Who? Remember? I showed. Who? Nope. Nope. I'm finna get, I gotta find a picture in the book. Because I sent it in the text stream. I did a whole lecture on it, everything. And Lavelle Goodard, he said, this is the person that saved his life. This is where he got the wisdom from. The Ethiopian rabbi. Remember? Pull it up. Pull it up. Pull it up in the text stream. Pull it up. Pull it up on YouTube. Pull it up on YouTube. Lavelle Goodard, give credit to the Ethiopian rabbi. Pull it up. That's Rabbi Ford in a turban. Pull it up, and you will see. Turbans were commonly used in black spiritual churches and signified the mystical east, were used by black religious magical workers. I'm almost done. I got 4 minutes left. You see what I'm saying? So, what they talking about? You see? In the land of the pharaohs. You know, he wrote a book. He wrote a book. I think I sent y'all the book. Ali was a writer who produced plays, articles, historical accounts, and one novel. His history of colonial oppression in Egypt. In the land of the pharaohs. Detailed British and European involvement as well as the resistance of Egyptian people to colonial rule. Written in response to the imperialist speech by the former U.S. President Roosevelt, which commanded demonstrations by the Egyptian nationalist students. Ali's passionate and eloquent criticism of European colonism influenced the feelings of many other intellectuals. Although Ali was later accused of having plagiarism parts of his work, that's what they are going to try to do to us. But that's why we say it's gathered and compiled, because nothing new under the sun. The same thing they tried to do to Sheikh Anta Diop. The same thing they tried to do to Ivan Van Sertima, but they can't. In the land of the pharaohs is still considered to have a significant impact on Black America's interest in African history. Arguably, Ali's most significant achievement was founding the African Times and Oriental Review. the newspaper that he edited between 1912 and 1920. Look at these dates. The paper had a limited circulation, and was under constant financial stress throughout its existence. Why? Because your own people don't support nothing. Forcing publication to halt on several occasions before it briefly relaunched in the 20s. And then people say, you should do this. Only way I can do this to people support and buy the product. As the African and Oriental Review. These difficulties, however, cannot undermine the significance of the paper's existence. And I got all those documents, all when he wrote under the African and Oriental Review, I got all of them. All of them. It's a historian called Ian Duffield, agrees that unlike Ali's history in the land of the pharaohs, which had been targeted towards a British audience, the African Times and Orient Review was primarily aimed at English-speaking Afro-Asians, because they know this is the science. You know, they know it. Contributions to the African Times and Orient Review included individuals who would become prominent anti-colonial nationalist leaders, including Herbert Macaulay of Nigeria, considered the founder of Nigerian nationalism, the Egyptian nationalist writer Muhammad Farid Bey. You heard me. The Egyptian nationalist writer. See, I can get too deep, but I'm not. For when I shut it down and they'd be sad because the world know what I'm talking about. Muhammad Farid Bey and the African-American intellectual Booker T. Washington, as a paper written for colonized people, largely written by colonized people. The review offered a refreshing intellectual forum. That's what we do, a refreshing intellectual forum for information, discussion, and debate, but not the debate like we proven nothing wrong. The impact is suggested by the hostility it aroused in the British colonial administration. In 1914, Sir George Fetis, an official of the colonial offices, foamed. His paper is a notorious disseminator of sedition and lies, mainly circulated among Mohammedans. A good deal of space is devoted to Indian and Egyptian grievances. And I ain't even go state all that. I just wanted to paint a picture. You got Deuce Muhammad Ali. You can research all these documents. I got all these books. Y'all got them in the land of the pharaohs. A short history of Egypt, from the fall of Ishmael to the assassination of Boudouris Pasha. I told y'all all through history, Europeans assassinated. Frank Cass, The Company, Introduction to the Second Edition by Khalid Mahmoud of Aban University, Nigeria. These are references. It's too many to go through, but I'm just painting the picture. And the last one I'm going to give y'all before we go, when these Moors, we talk about Noble Drew Ali, the only this man, you're not learned enough. Noble Drew Ali was inspired. So give it the inspiration. And then they say, we don't deal with that. Well, how are you going to say you don't deal with mathematics except because you learn how to multiply? Those are tools in your toolbox. It was in your Moore's Quran, smart guy, chapter 5. Abdul Hamid Solomon of Egypt, guest of Harlem Masons of Egypt. Didn't we just say Deuce Muhammad Ali is from Egypt as well? Yeah, exactly. Exactly. So start piecing it together, and then them cronies want to be mad and do all this stupid stuff. I said, man, we give credit what credit is due. Our prophet created the Moorish Temple of America from the Canaanite Temple and all these things. You think our prophet wasn't inspired? Well, look at all these news articles and these periodicals by all these great men. Research Clarence X and the Black Hitler of Harlem and all these powerful people. I'm not dealing with nobody that just started reading about Noble Drew Ali and act like Noble Drew Ali wasn't inspired. Going with that. Dr. Ahmed Holloman of Egypt, guest of Harlem Masons. In 1923, a story coming out of New Jersey was picked up by well-known National Library magazine, The Smart Set. A man claiming to have religious authority derived from his connection to Mecca had begun a movement for spreading Mohammedanism among the Negroes of the United States. Okay, well, if that's the case, why are we going to discredit this man movement? Damn it, if that's the same thing Noble Drew Ali did, but we're going to discredit other good men that did this and say, well, I ain't going to deal with these people. I'm going to deal with Noble Drew Ali, and we all look the same. That's stupid. And this man just was inspired by our prophet and did some good work. Man, I ain't with that. I'm respecting all my prophets in the flesh. I'm respecting all of it. I'm not dealing with no goofy ass Moors talking about Noble Drew Ali. This did this. Noble Drew Ali established the Moorish Temple of America. That's it. And I love the prophet. Muslim groups have been started in New Jersey. One of them at New York, where a mosque had been established from the Islamic missionaries. Just like when I talk about Peter Lambert Wilson, and when the prophet had his church for all those individuals. What is people talking about? You think prophet just came up with this stuff out his ass? The figure leading this movement has several months earlier made headlines in various U.S. newspapers. Followers of Muhammad seek Negro covenants. It says in the newspaper, July 15, Dr. Abdul Hamid Salman, a native of Arabia, said to have been the high priest at Mecca for several years, had inaugurated a movement for spreading Mohammedanism among the Negroes of the United States. Muslims, spelled M-O-S-L-E-M, groups have been started, one of them at Newark, where a temple has been established. Come on, don't that sound familiar? The Mohammedans in New York hope to construct a mosque here. Dr. Solomon says he is bringing into closer religious harmony the Negro, the Turkish, and the Syrian Muslims. In one front page article, this man of African descent was depicted wearing a fez, and it was reported that he had been proclaiming his movement to be both Islamic and Masonic, a Mohammedan masonry, and spoke of his mystical and Egyptian connections. It was later relayed that he had been leading a number of New York City Muslims in attempting to win Negroes to their Mohammedan faith by stressing the fact of the absolute equality of races and genuine brotherhood under Mohammedanism, as an opposition to the well-known attitude of white Christians. When I be telling y'all, this brotherhood and this fez, they know. Oh, if it ain't that important, why all the Europeans got Mecca, Islam, and Allah on the fez? Because they know you're not black, and they know that they sons of Muslims. See, they know what I'm telling you. And they know they only 32 and 33 degrees. And they know that haram of beast. They know what all this shit is. They know it. They know it. And you better know it. Wearing the scimitar and all that, don't defile your fez. I promise you. But we don't have to do that today. Noble Drew Ali told the brothers they don't have to do that to recognize who they are, and your fez should be clean. That's something the prophet did. That man who was leading this movement went by the name of Abdul Hamid Salman and was definitely not the same person as Noble Drew Ali. Definitely ain't the same person as Noble Drew Ali, but everybody want to act like they don't know nobody. Just like when the religious Islam Muslims act like, well, far Muhammad fall out the sky. Man, I get all that, but I'm not even finna go there. Whatever. I don't need nobody telling me something who I am and don't look like me, that I can't touch it. I don't know who they are. I don't deal with that fake stuff. You know who I am. You know who these brothers are. They're trying to act like a mystery. This ain't Crips and Bloods. Our prophet was inspired. Deuce Muhammad and Abdul Hamid Salman, when you see Egypt and you see these times, come on, man. You got to know our prophet was inspired. Because this person ain't the prophet. And then the Moors always want to argue. That ain't Noble Drew Ali. The findings presented here will show that it's highly probable that Abdul Hamid Salman and his movement influenced our prophet before 1922. You telling me they don't have influence? Michael Jordan didn't have influence. Are you crazy? Kobe didn't have influence. Iverson didn't have influence. Kareem didn't have influence. Stop playing with me. The Mecca Medina Temple and Dr. Prince D. Solomon, the man going by the name Abdul Hamid Salman, appeared to have first achieved recognition in the public press in August 1922 after he attended the African American Masonic Convention held that month in Washington, D.C. At the convention, he formally presented himself to the leadership of the main factor of the African American Shriner community, known as the Ancient Egyptian Arabic Order Nobles of the Mystic Shrine. Y'all know I show y'all this. I show y'all the European ain't older. I show y'all they books. You know I'm telling the truth. Solomon communicated to the group's head, Caesar R. Blake Jr., his demand for the AEAONMS to come under the protection of what he called the Mecca Medina Temple of ancient free and operative Masons from 1 to 96 degrees. The true Shriner, which I told y'all, but even though he's 96, it's 99. I'm telling you, I told y'all my affiliate, which is a later interview Solomon claimed to have incorporated himself in New York City, though he gave no date for its incorporation. But see, we are, the BBT is, the news report which contained a picture of the man, blah, 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 blah. I don't want to go no further all into it. I'm just painting the picture because it's time to work out. But do y'all understand what I'm saying, man? We got to get out of all this stuff. All these TikTok brothers saying Noble Ali was the first. Man, our prophet can't be the first if you was Moors way before then. And then I started showing you all books of the Mordai and all these Moors. And I understand this science. You can't say that. You can say Noble Ali established something, which is the Moorish Science Temple of America. And that's all you can do. Everything else, we got to stop that because prophet was inspired. Deuce Muhammad Ali was before our prophet. Abdul Hamid Solomon, all these brothers water feds. We're going to diss all these brothers and say, well, I don't deal with that. I don't deal with that. Well, you a gangbanger then. That's what you are. You a crony. That's exactly what you are. You a religious crony, goofy Muslim on the internet talk about, oh, Noble Ali is the first one to do this. Noble Ali ain't the first one to do nothing. You was the more way before Noble Ali. You was the more 20 years before he established the temple and on before then. And it got to be a factor if our prophet was inspired by men before him that had the feds on before our prophet. We got to stop listening to these cronies that's trying to play Crips and Bloods. This is Crips and Bloods. We're not that. This is a unity, and what we're doing is trying to continue to build and connect. We know what the nation did. We know all that. I showed y'all a film where Farrakhan gave credit to Noble Ali for what he did for Islam in North America. I showed y'all all that. I give credit to that. They know what they done. Everybody know what they done. We know what we do. That's why I said we're going to continue to build and continue to teach. That's what this is about. But for these brothers that just got into the Moorish sign to say Noble Ali did all this and claim a nationality, you can't say that to a person that know who they are. You can't say that to Ethiopian American and say, well, I know who I am. And then you tell them to claim their nationality. They say, you claim your nationality. You saying you a Moorish American. Really, do you know who you are when you saying you a Moorish American? When you claim your nationality. What is that? Where Moorish American land at? Where's that? What? When you talk about this, when you talk about tribe and all that, we get all that. You're going to tell a Bosnian American that's to say, hey man, claim your nationality. They say that I did. I'm a Bosnian American. What are you talking about? But see, these brothers get these books and they act like living color. And they do all these posts and you look at their life, I guarantee you, they living with somebody, rent $40. And that's all they do. And they arguing all day. That is not how we do. We deal with history, we build our nation, we build our library, we deal business with each other, and we show how far we came and where we got to go and why we got a long place to go. And the internet and TikTok and all this social media is showing us how far we got to go. All y'all got to do is look at these people Instagram and go on TikTok and see what these brothers be talking about and look at all these grown people responses. Oh man, you teaching, but then you going to get up in the morning and go to work into that 9-to-5 job and talk about this your land and do all that and say you this and you that and get up and go and pay those bills and do all that and talk about, oh yeah, this my land and claim a nationality. After you claim your nationality, then what? Because I'm tired of people saying that, well, this, and the other, claim a nationality. You think because you claiming a nationality, your life is going to change tomorrow. If you think that, you crazy. That just like those fools that want those ID cards. So claiming a nationality, I hear that cliche, but after you say, well, yeah, this, and the other, and after you spill all out of the mouth, and this, and the other, look at this book and claim a nationality. Well, after this person that don't have a pot to piss in, and that's a bum, and don't have no money, after they claim their nationality, let's see if their life going to be any better before they claim the nationality. I wait. Before they find out who they are. You ask me first, what would I want to do? Do I want to claim some nationality or do I want to find out who I am in God first and then figure that out? Because first, I got to know that I'm made in the image of God. I got to know that I'm made in the image of Allah. I don't care about all that stuff because in Moorish science, the divine comes first. And see, if you don't understand about the divine, how you know anything about law and civics? Because our prophet didn't teach that shit. Our prophet taught the divine. How you going to teach about law and history, international law, if you have had no expertise? See, that's why these people is off. They always want to file some paperwork because they some bums. Because the divine don't come first. Because you don't know who you are. You don't know what the creator created. You don't know that we are created in the image. You chasing something else. That's the problem with these brothers. Say the nationality is the order of the day. Okay, after everybody you say that to claim their nationality is order of the day, let's see how their life change tomorrow. When I claim my nationality order of the day, am I going to stop working minimum wage and have some money? When I claim my nationality, am I going to stop being ugly and fat and eating Dunkin' Donuts all day? When I claim my nationality, am I going to get out the projects? When I claim my nationality, am I going to go ahead and get a high school education? When I claim my nationality, am I going to do something? Because if not, you got to tell me why you don't want to know who you are in God first and know that you are an overcomer and then learn some stuff. Why do you want to put all that stuff on you first and you don't know how you are in God? and you don't have no self-esteem, and you don't have no pride, but you want all that. You will declare your nationality while you riding to work that slave job. While you finna go over your girl, your baby mama house, and her rent $13. And you talk about you got so many problems. And talk about read Deuteronomy, we were slaves. You wasn't no slave. You grew up in the Americas. Your family grew up on Section 8. You ain't no slave. You weren't brought over here on no boat. Your parents was right here. And we can look up the census. They all was right here in America. And they all was on Section 8. So I'm talking about you was brought up here on no boat. You weren't brought over here on no boat. You an American. If you don't know your family history and you don't know your tribal, who your mama are, you talk about you some Negro, you clearly don't know. If you just gonna talk about you some Moorish American, well, if you ain't never heard of Noble Drew Ali, because that's all they basing this from, you ain't gonna know nothing about no Moorish American Pooh Dilly. You know it and I know it. Especially me, myself being a sheik and a mapping guy. None of these brothers never known it. Nobody, I wouldn't have known it from my elders. This is what I'm telling people. But I was a minister in gospel. I knew who I am in God. And I'm a historian. I go to college. I know who I am. I know what I had the rights to because I studied international law. You know what I mean? In addition to people, law, and policy. So I know this when the person says, well, I'm a Moorish American. That's great. That's great. But what's your family background? What's your tribal? What's up? We get that. That's connecting us to the nations, all of us. But you don't know your tribal lineage? What's your family connection? What's your bloodline? What tribe you from? Are you Ethiopian? Are you Abyssinian? And do your family have connection to Haile Selassie like my family do? When I be talking about, man, I grew up, y'all see my makeup. I talk about it. Me being the Moor, I ain't going to destroy that. And I show y'all all this science is ours. When I talk about all the crafts is ours. And we just gonna keep letting people diss each other. Man, we've been brought up all the way. I showed y'all all the science of what's been happening. We gotta block all that negative energy. Because somebody sent that to me. Now I ain't gonna say nobody's name who sent it to me. Because I don't want to blast them out. They might be on here and they might be on my personal page. I am not gonna blast them out. But I'm gonna say this live. Please don't send me nothing else no more because I'm gonna start saying all their names. I'm saying this to you just like, please stop sending me this stuff all in and you saying like, Sheik, you said this 5 years ago and sending me my video. This lady know how to do it. And she's like, you said this years ago. She said, I don't know why you ain't went viral. She said, because you teach the truth and everybody afraid. I've been telling people this for years. For years. I've been telling people this for years that have been following me. I said, look at this with an eye. Look at this with a real eye, what everybody doing. I'm not saying names. I'm telling facts. All these brothers know each other. All of them. It's a scam team. I know all their government names. It's a scam, Wonder Twin Power Activate. No disrespect to nobody. I've been teaching for years, so y'all have a map and a guide. I'm not here to destroy them. We know everything what's going on. But with criminal stuff, all these brothers talking about we finna meet at the law library. I said, what business do any of y'all meeting at the law library every day talking about, yeah, man, we studying jurisprudence. And I say, okay, then to do what? And you getting ready to go to work tomorrow. Yeah, man, we meeting at the library, man. We got all these black laws studying jurisprudence. I said, dude, huh? Meet me at the law library. Meet you at the law library? See, this is what I be laughing. I said, why I want to meet you at the law library? I don't even know what a library is. So why I want to meet you at the law library? To do what? To go over a whole bunch of definitions? Because that's all you about to read over is a whole bunch of definitions. This ain't no case of law, buddy. This ain't no precedented law cases. I don't want to go to the library to read over a whole bunch of definitions for a person to be pulling up, look how much these jurisprudence books cost. Man, I got them all. I got all of them in my library. They don't cost nothing. I don't care how much no paper costs. Anything that somebody want to get on the internet, be like, look how much this paper costs. I got it all for free. Any jurisprudence book that somebody say, look how much they cost on Amazon. These cost $30,000. These cost $10,000. Say, no, they don't. Not for me. My sheik got them all. So all that shit is devalued. See, they got to go places to do that. Oh, see, I'm going to meet me at the law library. To do what? After we read this, what? I'm about to go to work. You about to go to work. You about to go beg your wife for a couple of dollars because you Papa roll the Rolling Stone and you like, man, baby, can I drop you off after work to use your car tomorrow? That ain't what this is about. I told you I'm going to be transparent. And always, we are not Crips and Bloods. I understand the black Muslims. I understand the black Masons. I understand the black Hebrew Israelites. I understand, hell, I'm going to say it too, the goofy crony Moors. I understand the black Christians. I understand all of them, and I just say about 5 sets, and all of us look alike in the same communities, know each other, went to high school together, and we can't get a goddamn loan. That's why I be laughing at these uglies. I don't want to be on no island with a whole bunch of people look like me. No, I like being in Arizona, like I live like I'm in Mexico. Mexico mean I got all different nationalities, just like Neapolitan ice cream, baby. I'm out here like Neapolitan ice cream. I'm dealing with all type of things. That's why I know my work is real, because most of my work ain't with people that look like me. Want to be nowhere with no whole bunch of Negroes? No. Look, you got, I said, black Masons, black Hebrew Israelites, what else? Black Christians. You got Moors. You got the black Egyptians. You got what else? Hell no, the gods of earth. You got all these 7 other brothers. What else you got? Then you got Masons. Then you got whatever else. So I done named 8 brothers that you would walk past to and see some of the same stuff on. And these Negroes arguing. I seen a whole bunch of Trans-Or Z Negroes on the corner. Y'all know who the Trans-Or Z Negroes is. I'm sorry. I'm going to speak my mind. My Empress was with me. I be holding my breath back because people don't be knowing how old I am. I had to tell this dude, I said, man, I old enough to be your daddy. He said, brother, how old are you? I said, 46. He said, bro, can I talk to you on the side? I apologize. I said, no, boy. He talked about some Hebrew Israelite. I said, man, you better get out of my face. What do Hebrew mean? That just means on the other side of the river. How the hell you some Hebrew? Oh, so you the other side of a river, nigga? Excuse my candor. And just arguing with people? Oh, have you read the Apocrypha? Boy, I got the Apocrypha. I ain't talking about you. You read it when they left under King Bacchus. There was Europeans saying after they left under the rulership, they've been all messed up and they wanted to go back under. They were trying to convert you to a goddamn old Gentile. What are we talking about? And we on the corner dressed up like the damn sea monster, like the Leviathan. Because if you talk about some commandments, hell, it tells you what the followers of Yahshua wore their garments. It tells you. Not dressed like no Trans-Or Z. Not on no corner arguing. Not nobody. Then I seen them brothers arguing with a Muslim brother talking about, show me where Allah is. It's in the Bible. And then this is what we do on Instagram. These little skits and this TikTok stuff. And show us infighting. Like that's in the back of the days where they threw Negroes in the damn in the arena and fight the lion. That's the pantheon. Get your muscle jock self in there and box each other. Django looking Negro. That's what they did to us. And that's what I be telling Negroes. I said, dude, this don't make any sense. This don't make no sense. How can the science be different and we using the same book? How? Well, show me. This is what the Hebrew Israelite was asking the brother that was under Islamic faith. Well, show me where Allah is in the Bible. You want me to show you? People just want an exact word. It say you were made in the image of God. What God mean? Allah. What Allah mean in more science? Arm, leg, Arab head. What's the goddamn pentagram? Standing straight up. A full function of money. Arm, leg, arm, head. So where Allah at in the Bible? In the Bible where it said man is made in the image of God. Man is made in the image of Allah. That's where it's at. Smart fucking guy. That's where it's at. God is Allah. Allah is God. And Allah ain't no new word. It's an acronym. Arm, leg, arm, head when I'm dealing with Kabbalah, when I'm dealing with gematria, when I'm dealing with higher science, when all these brothers just religiously freaking crazy. When I just broke down the 12 disciples in your brain. Man was made in the image of Elohim. But you got all these religious people talking about something outside themselves. That's why they'll never have nothing. Any Negro got 24 hours a day to be on the corner hollering all day. You might as well get a sign and twirl like you 7 hot and ready pieces. You might as well be on the corner dressed up all day like if you ever go to Vegas, Bay. You ever been to Vegas and the people be on the corner performing? You might as well go to Vegas with the rest of the cronies. You might as well. Because if I was an empress, I don't want no Negro doing it. Baby, what you do all day? Oh, I'm out teaching these people their nationality, baby. So what you finna be? The Brent do each month. Well, baby, I'm just going, shit. I'm building. What you building? Dust mites? And see, this is the stuff we got to talk about, man. This is mental. This is like, how can I say it, y'all? This is mental insanity. We got to come together. If brothers don't want to be right, all this religion, because brothers using the same religious book. That's why I tell people, have y'all really read the religious books? So when they talk about Noble Drew Ali, this, and I end it with this. You know what Noble Drew Ali ain't the originator of nothing. All praise due to our brother, peace be among them. If he tell you he gathered, compiled, and divinely prepared the literature. I told y'all all that stuff. I can show you word from the Brahmin text. I can show y'all Akashic record. I can show y'all from the Unto the Eye Grant, from the Rosicrucian manual. So if you know all this, clearly you lost. And that's what I be telling these brothers. This is not smart stuff. This is like some brothers in prison that's having barbershop talk. For real, we got to let that stuff go, man, because this stuff will get y'all in trouble. Claim a nationality. After you claim a nationality with who? I asked these brothers, okay, if somebody say, well, I want to claim my nationality, what they going to tell them? Well, you know, claim your nationality. Okay, doing what, sir? Because see, that's just cliche talk. Y'all been hearing this forever. Well, do I got to go to RV Publishing and do all that? If that's what you want to do, I ain't telling you to do no dumb stuff like that. So when they say claim your nationality, they trying to tell you to do some of the stuff they did. So you got to start listening to the cronies. No one can national. Look, I'm going to end with this right here. Babe, I don't even know. I'm going to end it with this right here. This is what I'm going to do. I'm going to do y'all a favor. Babe, I'm going to do them a big favor. Babe, I'm going to do them a big favor while I'm done. And I'm getting off of here. My family home. When everybody be talking about nationality, the order of the day, and they always holding this book up right here. If anybody want this book from me, this $2.50 on Amazon right here. Listen to me clearly. You listen to me loud and clear. You listen to the words that coming out of my mouth. This is gonna be a special for everybody for the whole week. For the whole week, listen to me clearly. If you want this Exhumer of the Nation, it's about $200 on Amazon. I'll print it and bind it for you. Ship it to your house. Half the price. And I send you a free PDF of some more wisdom that go with this. When I show you, these brothers be lying. They'll hold up, yeah. And then these cronies, look, when I have my temple out here, these Negroes gonna try to talk about, yeah, we finna put some money together. My wife right here. We finna pay such and such here to come and Zoom the Nation. I said, who the hell you fools think y'all talking to? Y'all finna have this dude on the internet that's wearing this Indian stuff on here. I know y'all hustle. Talk about y'all, we finna pay him fine. We ain't finna pay him shit. Not me. I know the scam. Boy, I'm from Flint, Michigan. I'm 46. I've been doing this for too long. I call them scam artists out so fast, they be shaking in their boots like Don Knotts. They be trying to hit my wife up. Will you talk to your husband? My Emily be like, nope, I'm not talking to him. You shouldn't have lied. Shouldn't have made him mad. You're going to have to face that bull now. Face him. And he's going to be the same way he was in front of his mama, in front of his daddy, in front of God. You lied. You a liar. He going to do it. He going to talk. He going to cuss your ass out right in front of your whole family, in front of your wife, and make you be this little. Yep. Show is. Because you lying and you getting people in trouble. All I told y'all in the state booklet, when you read the introduction in that state booklet, them Negroes on there went to jail for tax evasion. Talk about, oh, if we don't pay, Moors don't pay no taxes and all this. Well, why your ass go to jail for trying to sign $1 million return taxes and get all your people in trouble for filing fake taxes? See, this is what I be telling y'all. You can't do this to people. I told y'all this was going to happen, and I'm not saying no names because if somebody say something, I'm going to start naming all their names. I'm going to start naming all the women. I'm going to start showing you all their mug shots. I'm going to start showing you all their cases when they finna go to court. I'm going to start showing you all of these motherfuckers that there was felon informants before they got in trouble, and they got court-appointed attorneys, and they plead to a lesser charge. I'm going to start showing y'all doc numbers, the Free Information Act. Man, this shit is public information. I don't know what people talk about. Keep playing. You keep playing. I'm gonna show you all these communists that's done ran their ass to China. That's in trouble with the government. I'll show you. All them ex-line ass military Negroes act like they don't know each other. They all know each other. All of them. All of them. Now, and I'm gonna end with this. They be scared to touch this Exhumer of the Nation. If anybody want Exhumer of the Nation on here, you can get it from me for change. I'll bind it and print it to you. I have my noble ship it right to you. And I'll send you the PDF so you can have it. So you can read it all for yourself. And then you can ask these liars. You can ask them anything. You can go from chapter to chapter. I'll teach it with you. Why would you want to go and spend $200-something for something and somebody got it right here? Listen to this. This is what the author says. Myself too. And I'm ending it with this. I know we got to work out, but this is important. We'll work out as soon as we end off live, Nobles, we can work out. I promise you. The author is a Moorish American, a true citizen of the clean and pure nation, a nation of holy people that has been ordained in due time by the great God of the universe and fulfilling the prophecies of Noble Drew Ali. Much of these written works in this biography is either unknown or unpracticed by many organizational sheiks and adapts. Chapter 23 and 24 of my book are where the true Moors are supposed to be at this time. So if anybody ain't read that like I do, they know they ain't right. Just like when they talk about, oh, the 1099 is some trust fund at the end of the rainbow. I showed y'all it ain't. Hold on. Hello? Hey. Is it good? Okay, mama, let me call you right back. I promise you. Okay, love you. See, I tell you, that's real life, man. Mama checking on me. Sean, her test came back good. Call mama. My mom. But anyway, so listen to this. And adapts chapter 23 and 24 of my book are where the true Moors are supposed to be at this time. Remember, all my muftis know I sent y'all that paper in 2016 from the CCRD. The CCRD is the County Clerk Recorder of Deeds, where Sheikh Lovell and his whoever that was trying to act like the 1099 and some trust fund at the end of the rainbow. You ain't got to be mad at me. I'm gonna start showing y'all what it is. People been lying to y'all forever. I don't care how old you are. I do not respect no old liar. I don't, especially if somebody will get themselves killed for this stuff, and then we just gonna sit back and put our hands in our pocket. I'm not doing that. I'm not, and I stand alone with this. Period. Moorish proclamation. It said, dirty Moors have been busy burying us as a people, just as Prophet Noble Drew Ali warned. They will take this movement down so low, it will disappear from the face of the earth. You Moors won't know I have been here. For 15 years, I was a member of the Moorish Science Temple of America organizations during the moderation of Robert Love L. He went on record in the Fourth Circuit Federal Courts of Corporate Government of the United States stating the author and many other of his members were not Moorish Americans and never a part of the Moorish Science Temple of America organization. Now remember, organization, because that's all it is. This deposition and a church. That's all it is. This deposition would normally seem harmless except it was a lie, laced with the assumable identification, which combined membership with nationality, following a 3-liter successorship of past moderates, being the first post-Drew Ali Freemason named Charles Kirkman Bey, Love L2, claimed to have power to make Moorish Americans out of members, divine ministers out of sheiks, and adapts out of officials. To make a man as one can make a mason is the practice of Freemasonry at its most unscrupulous heights. To nationalize, aka make or denationalize any human is both a sin and a crime. So when these Negro or nationality order they talk about go to Sheik such and such and go to some RV Bay and they can claim your nationality, that's a sin and a crime. That's why they ain't gonna touch this. It's a sin and a crime. You can't nationalize, can't nobody get, I damn D, this is my Moorish American. That's cosmetics. And you done gave all this person on the internet all your information and your children information. How stupid are you? No God, prophet, or grand man has the power to nationalize any man, woman, or child. Let me say that again. No God, prophet, or grand man has the power to nationalize any man or woman or child. They don't have the power to nationalize and denationalize. No goddamn publication company have the power. Or I claim my nationality through this publication. Or I claim my nationality through some Negro in South Carolina. I sent this. Man, that's copy and paste paperwork. Your ass just been hoodwinked. You just fell for the Jedi mind trick. And you tell him I said that. You tell him. You tell him I said that. All you just got is some shit out the Cracker Jack box. That's all you got. And you're mad? And when we tell you how stupid it is, because I screenshotted everything. I can show you the other girl. And I ain't going to say her name. She called herself Empress. And I'm just making up a name. Goddamn totem pole eyeball. This is how stupid these people be. And she on there. And I want serious inquiries. This is our international travel ID. And I charge $400. And I seen all these grown men on there with a goddamn Indian headdress. You can't take no passport ID with no Indian headdress. So who you think you is? Chief Blackfoot? And see this is why I can talk. And if that's the case, okay, then what about the other one? This is your Moorish American ID. Then what about the other dude in China? This is your Moorish American travel ID. Then what about the other brother? This is your more so it ain't no damn consulate of this. So this is just a joke. That's why I be telling y'all, you can see how stupid it is. And we gonna do that. Oh, well, this my sheik, he made my nationality ID. And this Empress Toenail, she at the park with 2 dudes and they hold up making a star. And I said, so where all your information going? You just want to make your own. Make your own. Because that's all they did. Make your fucking own. I'll show you. I have a temple in school. We have school ID and nationality ID. You don't have to pay none of them cronies for that. That's why people be like, well, can I get a school ID? You ain't no member of my school. It's contingent on you being a member. If you want to make your own stupid ass shit, do that. You don't need to pay nobody on the internet talk about I claim my nationality at RV Pay. And they copy and paste a United States flag and a Moroccan flag and did a whole bunch of shit and you think you did shit. Where you think that paperwork sitting at? Where you think it's sitting at? Where do your smart ass think it's sitting at? At their crib. And you better hope they'll open up a whole bunch of social security cards and cable in your kid's name. And those that have taken away a man's true identity are criminals. This practice gave the U.S. courts and the outside world the illusion that the Moorish Science Temple of America was a religion whose members under the tenets were nationalized with the name Moorish American and loaned the organizational marks of Bay and L. Needful to say, this nationalization, hoodwinking, was never empowered or practiced by Prophet Noble Drew Ali or any other upright man. No man has the power to nationalize another man. This would change him or her from the descendant nature of their forefathers. If one can make, which is nationalized, a Moorish American, one can also make a Chinese or an Irish or Sudanese at will. Ask them cronies, can they do that? They can't. So kick them in their ass. Excuse my candor, y'all, please. I got to talk like this because they think they fooling y'all. You should be appalled, just like on Friday when they say, you ain't Paul, you just a brother trying to steal. You lying to me, and it's premeditated. I'm really, really upset now. Because you will hold up a June of the nation. And Noble Drew Ali talked about. This is in the disclaimer and the warnings. If anybody want it, I'll print the book for you for half of the price you get it on Amazon and give you the PDF. These brothers don't read. They don't like to read. They TikTok. This will blow your mind. Ain't nothing blowing my mind. This brought a light 75-year practice of clandestine cultism within the various Moorish Science Temple of America groups. They cultisms. That's what they are. Fascist groups. And systematically denouncing 98% of his members as non-Moorish repo. Talk about claiming nationality. Then do what? Talk about they can just give you your Bay and L name. An entity that eats its young can never be prosperous. This is why John Doe or Negro, Black and colored and African Americans, they don't know nothing about the true uplifting duties of Prophet Noble Drew Ali due to the national activity and the national inactivity of Moorish officials. Y'all know it. As a charter organization, which the Moorish Science Temple of America is, which the Burning Bush Tabernacle Science Temple and School consists of, because see, these brothers ain't part of nothing. They just picking up books written by a whole bunch of other people. Look at these brothers when they be saying they blow your mind. And look at who these brothers be quoting from. I'm going to tell you who the brother quoting from. He quoting from one dude with this Indian chief thing. The brother know who I am, and I know the brother a clown. He put on his goddamn Instagram, grown-ass man, because he went to Burger King and got a discount for a goddamn Impossible burger. See, the AA22 number work, but you at work talking all that stuff. You go to work at 9 to 5, you ain't at work with that Indian shit on. That's why I be saying these Negroes ain't even original. Well, your research, you quote some other Negro that's at work with a uniform on. Man, y'all brothers stupid. As a charter organization, the Moorish Science Temple of America, constitutional limitations, because we have constitutional limitations. If they say the Moorish Science Temple of America, and if they say they operate under the teachings of the prophet, that this is a charter. Everything can be looked up. So when you say that for the record, everything you saying is a lie. And you ain't part of the Moorish Science Temple of America. Because if I could, I can look you up just like you can look me up as a member. And I show my paper from the temple, and that shit don't mean nothing. I show my college credentials, and that don't mean nothing. But as a charter organization, the Moorish Science Temple of America, constitutional limitations are restricted to only teach its members their nationality and divine creed. That's it. This is the only way for it to live out its purpose, the uplifting of fallen humanity. From its inception to 1913, the Noble Group was never intended to be recognized as a national government. When these niggas talk about, well, we got to establish our own government. Who the hell told you that? We defend the Constitution. What are you talking about? It wasn't to be established, I know, Islamic sect. It wasn't no secret order or as a religion. But yet today, the Moorish Science Temple of America is widely known and accepted like they did our prophet, like they do me. They reduce us from a prophet of Allah. In our divine and in our one-on-ones, a prophet and an angel is clothed in the flesh. A map and a guide. The type of Moorish science we under is Tasawwuf, Sufi, just like an abbot, just like a Buddha. We ain't worried about what nobody else doing. You know? And so our affairs is respected. I showed y'all that. So I just wanted to share that with my brothers and sisters, man. We are Moors by descent, nature of our forefathers. And there is no one, no organization that is able to change that law. So I want to be clear with that. Don't let these brothers get caught up in set tripping. If you want to read something about nationalizing, if you want to get all the Moorish science books about how the temple was set up, you want the Moorish Quran, you want the Silent Brotherhood of the East, you want the Discover Questionnaires, you want the Catechism to Understanding the Moorish Quran, you want all those books, I got them. All you got to do is hit me up. I'll give them all to you. Because when these brothers talking about what Noble Drew Ali did, they just quoting a whole bunch of mad people on Section 8. That's it. They ain't quoting nothing righteous because this science is righteous and this brotherhood cross all the borders. This when I talk about Atlantis of the latter days, when I show y'all everything, when I show y'all all the books that's ancient, the European know about the prophet. He be telling us about this. Just like y'all got the books. And so we got to let these brothers be, and we going to keep going. Because all this TikTok stuff going to be over in a minute anyway. Once the system shut it down, it's going to be over anyway. And it's only going to allow true teachers and Zoom stuff. All that other stuff is going to be over because they're going to be fact checking everything. So with that being said, man, I love y'all, man, and thank you for taking time out of y'all day. Just listen to me building, just a regular talk conversation for the public, just to give you some fuel for your tank for the week. Please check us out Saturday for ADAPT class and Sunday school for Sunday school. And every Sunday we teach spiritual science, and every Saturday we teach history, law, and civics. I love y'all, man. Peace, light, and illumination. And remember, it never was a time when man was not. And what came first, the man or the book? And 7 days without more science makes 1 week. And I love you. Peace. Shah.